Welcome back, in part 6 of Twitter/X. So let's continue.
Before its rebranding to X, Twitter was internationally identifiable by its signature bird logo, or the Twitter bird.
The original logo, which was simply the word Twitter, was in use from its launch in March 2006.
It was accompanied by an image of a bird, which was later discovered to be a piece of clip art created by the British graphic designer Simon Oxley.
A new logo had to be redesigned by founder Gus Stone, with help from designer Philip Pascuzzo, which resulted in a more cartoon-like bird in 2009.
This version had been named Larry the Bird after Larry Bird of the NBA's Boston Celtics fame. Within a year, the Larry the Bird logo underwent a redesign by Stone and Pascuzzo to eliminate the cartoon features, leaving a solid silhouette of Larry the Bird that was used from 2010 through 2012.
In 2012, Douglas Bauman created a further, simplified version of Larry the Bird, keeping the solid silhouette but making it more similar to a mountain bluebird.
This logo was simply called the Twitter Bird and was used until July 2023. On July 22, 2023, Elon Musk announced that the service would be rebranded to X in his pursuit of creating an everything app.
Musk's Twitter profile picture, along with the platform's official accounts and the icons when browsing/signing up for the platform, were updated to reflect the new logo.
The logo X is a Unicode mathematical alphanumeric symbol for the letter X, styled in double stripe bold. Mike Brooks of the New York Times was critical of this change, saying the brand value has been wiped out.
Mike Carr says the new logo gives a Big Brother tech overlord vibe, in contrast to the cuddly nature of the previous bird logo.
Users' review on the newly rebranded X app on the iOS App Store on the day it was revealed, and Rolling Stone's Miles Klee said that the rebrand reeks of desperation. On April 13, 2010, Twitter announced plans to offer paid advertising for companies that would be able to purchase promoted tweets to appear in selected search results on the Twitter website, similar to Google AdWords advertising model.
Users' photos can generate royalty-free revenue for Twitter, and an agreement with World Entertainment News Network, WENN, was announced in May 2011.
Twitter generated an estimated US $139.5 million in advertising sales during 2011. In June 2011, Twitter announced that it would offer small businesses a self-service advertising system.
The self-service advertising platform was launched in March 2012 to American Express card members and merchants in the US on an invite-only basis.
To continue their advertising campaign, Twitter announced on March 20, 2012, that promoted tweets would be introduced to mobile devices.
In April 2013, Twitter announced that its Twitter Ads self-service platform, consisting of promoted tweets and promoted accounts, was available to all US users without an invite.
On August 3, 2016, Twitter launched Instant Unlock Card, a new feature that encourages people to tweet about a brand to earn rewards and use the social media network's conversational ads.
The format itself consists of images or videos, with call to action buttons and a customizable hashtag.
In October 2017, Twitter banned the Russian media outlets RT and Sputnik from advertising on their website following the conclusions of the U.S. National Intelligence Report the previous January. That both Sputnik and RT have been used as vehicles for Russia's interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election.
Maria Zakharova, for the Russian Foreign Ministry, said the ban was a gross violation by the U.S. of free speech.
In October 2019, Twitter announced it would stop running political ads on its ad platform effective November 22.
This resulted from several spurious claims made by political ads.
Company CEO Dorsey clarified that internet advertising had great power and was extremely effective for commercial advertisers. The power brings significant risks to politics, where crucial decisions impact millions of lives.
The company reversed the ban in August 2023, publishing criteria governing political advertising which do not allow the promotion of false or misleading content, and requiring advertisers to comply with laws, with compliance being the sole responsibility of the advertiser.
In April 2022, Twitter announced a ban on misleading advertisements that go against the scientific consensus on climate change.
While the company did not give full guidelines, it stated that the decisions would be made with the help of authoritative sources, including the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change.
Twitter has been fined several times for non-compliance with laws and regulations.
On May 25, 2022, Twitter was fined $150 million by the Federal Trade Commission and the United States Department of Justice for collecting users' contact details and using them for targeted advertising.
Twitter relies on open source software.
The Twitter web interface uses the Ruby on Rails framework, deployed on a performance-enhanced Ruby Enterprise Edition implementation of Ruby.
In the early days of Twitter, tweets were stored in MySQL databases that were temporarily sharded. Large databases were split based on time of posting.
After the huge volume of tweets coming in caused problems reading from and writing to these databases, the company decided that the system needed re-engineering.
From spring 2007 to 2008, the messages were handled by a Ruby persistent queue server called Starlin.
Since 2009, implementation has been gradually replaced with software written in Scala.
The switch from Ruby to Scala and the JVM has given Twitter a performance boost from 200 to 300 requests per second per host to around 10,000 to 20,000 requests per second per host.
This boost was greater than the 10 times improvement that Twitter's engineers envisioned when starting the switch.
The continued development of Twitter has also involved a switch from monolithic development of a single app to an architecture where different services are built independently and joined through remote procedure calls. As of April 6, 2011, Twitter engineers confirmed that they had switched away from their Ruby on Rails search stack to a Java server they call Blender. Individual tweets are registered under unique IDs called snowflakes, and geolocation data is added using Rockdove.
The URL shortener t.co then checks for a spam link and shortens the URL.
Next, the tweets are stored in a MySQL database using Gizzard, and the user receives an acknowledgement that the tweets were sent.
Tweets are then sent to search engines via the Firehose API.
The process is managed by FlockDB and takes an average of 350 milliseconds. On August 16, 2013, Rafik Krikorian, Twitter's vice president of platform engineering, shared in a blog post that the company's infrastructure handled almost 143,000 tweets per second during that week, setting a new record.
Krikorian explained that Twitter achieved this record by blending its homegrown and open source technologies.
Twitter was recognized for having one of the most open and powerful developer API''s of any major technology company.
The services API allows other web services and applications to integrate with Twitter.
Developer interest in Twitter began immediately following its launch, prompting the company to release the first version of its public API in September 2006.
The API quickly became iconic as a reference implementation for public REST API''s and is widely cited in programming tutorials.
From 2006 until 2010, Twitter's developer platform experienced strong growth and a highly favorable reputation.
Developers built upon the public API to create the first Twitter mobile phone clients as well as the first URL shortener.
Between 2010 and 2012, however, Twitter made a number of decisions that were received unfavorably by the developer community.
In 2010, Twitter mandated that all developers adopt go-off authentication with just 9 weeks of notice.
Later that year, Twitter launched its own URL shortener in direct competition with some of its most well-known third-party developers.
And in 2012, Twitter introduced stricter usage limits for its API, completely crippling some developers.
While these moves successfully increased the stability and security of the service, they were broadly perceived as hostile to developers, causing them to lose trust in the platform. In July 2020, Twitter released version 2.0 of the public API and began showcasing Twitter apps made by third-party developers on its Twitter Toolbox section in April 2022. In January 2023, Twitter ended third-party access to its API''s, forcing all third-party Twitter clients to shut down.
This was controversial among the developer community, as many third-party apps predated the company's official apps, and the change was not announced beforehand.
Twitterific Sean Beaver confirmed in a blog post that the 16-year-old app has been discontinued.
We are sorry to say that the app's sudden and undignified demise is due to an unannounced and undocumented policy change by an increasingly capricious Twitter, a Twitter that we no longer recognize as trustworthy nor want to work with any longer.
In February 2023, Twitter announced it would be ending free access to Twitter API and began offering paid tier plans with a more limited access. On April 17, 2012, Twitter announced it would implement an innovator's patent agreement, which would obligate Twitter to only use its patents for defensive purposes. Twitter has a history of both using and releasing open source software while overcoming technical challenges of their service.
A page in their developer documentation thanks dozens of open source projects which they have used, from revision control software like Git to programming languages such as Ruby and Scala.
Software released as open source by the company includes the Gizzard Scala framework for creating distributed data stores, the distributed graph database BlockDB, the Finable library for building asynchronous RPC servers and clients, the TaBNWNE user interface framework for iOS, and the Power client-side package manager.
The popular Bootstrap front-end framework was also started at Twitter and is 10th most popular repository on GitHub.
On March 31, 2023, Twitter released the source code for Twitter's recommendation algorithm, which determines what tweets show up on the user's personal timeline to GitHub.
According to Twitter's blog post, we believe that we have a responsibility as the town square of the internet to make our platform transparent. So today we are taking the first step in the new era of transparency and opening much of our source code to the global community.
Elon Musk, the CEO at the time, had been promising the move for a while. On March 24, 2022, before he owned the site, he told his followers about whether Twitter's algorithm should be open source, and around 83% of the responses said yes.
In February, he promised it would happen within a week before pushing back the deadline to March 31 earlier this month.
Also in March 2023, Twitter suffered a security attack, which resulted in proprietary code being released.
Twitter then had the source code removed.
Twitter introduced the first major redesign of its user interface in September 2010, adopting a dual-pane layout with a navigation bar along the top of the screen and an increased focus on the inline embedding of multimedia content.
Critics considered the redesign an attempt to emulate features and experiences found in mobile apps and third-party Twitter clients.
The new layout was revised in 2011 with a focus on continuity with web and mobile versions, introducing Connect interactions with other users such as Replies and Discover. Further information regarding trending topics and news headlines, tabs, an updated profile design, and moving all content to the right pane, leaving the left pane dedicated to functions and the trending topics list.
In March 2012, Twitter became available in Arabic, Farsi, Hebrew, and Urdu, the first right-to-left language versions of the site.
In 2023, the Twitter website listed 34 languages, supported by Twitter.com. In September 2012, a new layout for profiles was introduced, with larger covers that could be customized with a custom header image and a display of the user's recent photos posted.
The Discover tab was discontinued in April 2015 and was succeeded on the mobile app by an Explore tab, which features trending topics and moments.
In September 2018, Twitter began to migrate selected web users to its progressive web app, based on its Twitter Lite experience for mobile web, reducing the interface to 2 columns.
Migrations to this iteration of Twitter increased in April 2019, with some users receiving it with a modified layout.
In July 2019, Twitter officially released this redesign, with no further option to opt out while logged in.
It is designed to further unify Twitter's user experience between the web and mobile application versions, adopting a 3-column layout with a sidebar containing links to common areas, including Explore, that has been merged with a search page, which previously appeared in a horizontal top bar, profile elements such as picture and header images and biography texts, merged into the same column as the timeline, and features from the mobile version, such as multi-account support, and an opt-out for the top tweets mode on the timeline.
In response to early Twitter security breaches, the United States Federal Trade Commission, FTC, brought charges against the service. The charges were settled on June 24, 2010.
This was the first time the FTC had taken action against a social network for security lapses.
The settlement requires Twitter to take a number of steps to secure users' private information, including maintenance of a comprehensive information security program to be independently audited biannually. After a number of high-profile hacks of official accounts, including those of the Associated Press and The Guardian, in April 2015, Twitter announced a two-factor login verification as an added measure against hacking. On July 15, 2020, a major hack of Twitter affected 130 high-profile accounts, both verified and unverified ones such as Barack Obama, Bill Gates, and Elon Musk. The hack allowed Bitcoin scammers to send tweets via the compromised accounts that asked the followers to send Bitcoin to a given public address with a promise to double their money.
Within a few hours, Twitter disabled tweeting and reset passwords from all verified accounts.
Analysis of the event revealed that the scammers had used social engineering to obtain credentials from Twitter employees to access an administration tool used by Twitter to view and change these accounts' personal details as to gain access as part of a smash and grab attempt to make money quickly, with an estimated $120,000 in Bitcoin deposited in various accounts before Twitter intervened.
Several law enforcement entities, including the FBI, launched investigations into the attack.
On August 5, 2022, Twitter disclosed that a bug introduced in a June 2021 update to the service allowed Fed actors to link email addresses and phone numbers to Twitter users' accounts.
The bug was reported through Twitter's bug bounty program in January 2022 and subsequently fixed.
While Twitter originally believed no one had taken advantage of the vulnerability, it was later revealed that a user on the online hacking forum Breach Forums has used the vulnerability to compile a list of over 5.4 million user profiles, which they offered to sell for $30,000.
The information compiled by the hacker includes user screen names, location, and email addresses which could be used in phishing attacks or used to de-anonymize accounts running under pseudonyms.
During an outage, Twitter users were at one time shown the fail whale error message image created by Ying Lu, illustrated 8 orange birds using a meta voice to whale from the ocean caption, "Too many tweets, please wait a moment and try again."
Web designer and Twitter user Jen Simmons was the first to coin the term fail whale in a September 2007 tweet.
In a November 2015 Wired interview, Chris Fry, VP of Engineering at that time, noted that the company had taken the fail whale out of use as the platform was now more stable.
Twitter had approximately 98% uptime in 2007, or about 6 full days of downtime.
The downtime was particularly noticeable during events popular with the technology industry such as the 2008 Macworld Conference and Expo keynote address. We will continue about Twitter/X in Part 7. To be continued.